What can you do about providing the best healthcare for your pet when times are tough? Well, the vet at Noah's Ark, Dr. Doug Mader, shared his expertise with me in these top tips.
Our current situation is the cost of living across the world is climbing. You know, the costs of everything is climbing. We've also got a situation where in veterinary medicine, the gold standard care is climbing, but the cost of providing that top level, best in inverted commas care is also climbing. So many people are struggling to afford the care that they would perhaps want for their pet or they aspire to. Have you got any thoughts that would maybe help people kind of navigate this, very challenging situation that we find ourselves in?
I do, and that's an extremely important point. And I think, as you said, there are people who want to do everything they can for their pet, but can't necessarily afford it. And then they have that guilt.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't feel that. It's you never want to put a person in a position where they have to feel guilt because they can't provide the proper care. We have always, in my practice, made it a point to try and work with everybody, whether it's through credit funds, or we have several what we call angel funds, which are nonprofit organizations that help out people in need. We help people with getting funds on the internet. So that guilt thing is something that's real. Everybody feels it, but it's certainly something that you shouldn't be ashamed of. The thing that we're pushing a lot now here in the States is pet insurance. I don't know if they offer that where you live, but I think I just did an article on it, and the last count, there were like 22 pet insurance companies, and it's like a buffet line. You can go in and you can get the salad, you can get the salad with the ham, or you can get the salad with the macaroni. I mean, there's a whole menu of options that are available, from basic accident coverage or illness coverage or accident and illness coverage, all the way up to well care plans, which cover vaccines, spays and neuters, normal dentistry. So there's a whole variety of things out there. And I am encouraging my hospital encourages every client that comes in now to get pet insurance, because it's like anything else. I live in the Florida Keys. I live on an island, okay? I've been paying into hurricane insurance for the last 30 years. And a couple of years ago, we got hit by a hurricane. I would rather pay it and never, ever have to cash in on it. But it's nice to know that it's there and when you need it. Pet insurance is the same way. If you have the pet insurance, it might mean the difference between, can I get my dog fixed that's in heart failure, or was hit by a car, or do I have to say goodbye and make that tough decision?
I love that talk of guilt, and people shouldn't feel guilty. And I think the level of care that people are providing for themselves. If I think of dental care, I read about the cost of insulin over in the States, and diabetics struggling to provide their care. My personal opinion is that we can't expect our pet parents to be able to provide in every single situation the level of care that actually they're not able to afford themselves sometimes as well.
The concept of guilt goes both ways, because it's also difficult on veterinarians, because we're trained to offer the Mercedes-Benz, and you can't profile your clients just because they come in and they've got dirty clothes and they drive an old car. You can't just automatically assume they can't afford care. So we have to offer everybody the best possible care, and that can be sticker shock. Fido is walking with a head tilt. We may want to consider doing an MRI or a CT scan. How much is that? Well, that's X number of dollars. I can't afford that. So we have to be able to work with our clients and our pets. Okay, fine. You can't afford the CT scan. I completely understand that. But here's some other options that we have that aren't going to be as expensive. They may not be able to give us the same answers, but we can work with that. I've been a veterinarian for a long time, and I've seen this a number of times. So let's skip this step and go right to here. You just have to trust my experience on this one. So we do have to work with them. And again, for me, when I wake up in the morning, my goal is to do everything I can to promote that human bond and make it last as long as possible. And sometimes it means you have to kind of take detours. But the goal is the same goal, and that is to keep things going.
For sure. And I think that, to me, speaks of the art of veterinary medicine, the elusive art of veterinary medicine that, that James Herriot was a master of. And I'm sure the stories in your book show that you are as well, is helping navigate this very difficult journey when this bond is so strong and, you want to do as much as you can, but there's different competing elements to that as well.
And this is why finding a vet that you can trust is just so important, because if you don't, the results can be dangerous. And you can find out why this is in this video linked on screen now. So tap on that video. But until the next time, I'm veterinarian Dr. Alex. This is Our Pets Health, because they're family.